A lot of effort goes into making music mysterious, difficult to understand, and amazing when we actually see people get up and perform it live. But we always forget a couple little things. One of those is musicians are performers. They're performance artists. They are doing things to make you more aware, enjoy the performance more, and try to draw you into that particular environment. So think of it from the idea, you go out to a party, someone says, "Hey, you play guitar, play something for us." Now we all freeze up and freak out. So how do these amazing guitarists or musicians just get up and do stuff? Well, it's because they're ready for it. They prepared for it. Everything they did every day, notice I said every day, was for that one particular moment. Now that might seem really inefficient to us, but it's what performers do. They're always ready to perform because that's who and what they like to do. So if we want to be able to do the same thing, those of us who are not major performers, what can we do? Well, there's a trick, and all we have to do is exploit the trick. Instead of practicing things that we think are good for us, practice things that are good for other people to hear. So instead of doing scales and things that are quite dull, practice those little tunes and riffs that we might like to do. And if you can't do a full song and have that full song interesting, well, don't do that. That's what these little medleys are for. Put together a few ideas, a few little verses, a few little choruses, a few little riffs that you think go together well, and always have those on your plate. What do I mean by that? Well, something simple. You'll recognize it. Just become a transition to something else. And so you recognize the idea, and you can see what we're doing. Instead of practicing just scales or just things that I want to do, put some practice time into little riffs, little ideas, things that you can use should you be asked to play. Now, if you're trying to play a full song and you can't sing or you don't want to sing, that's going to get dull. So having things that change is going to make some sense. It doesn't have to be super fancy. They just want to know if you can play the guitar or what little things you can do. And there's always going to be something interesting you can pull out. You don't have to play the whole thing. It's just enough to make it sound a little bit interesting for them. Now, of course, you're going to get into trouble when they give you some song you've never heard of and say, "Hey, can you play this one?" Well, the answer is going to be, well, no. But don't let that throw you. Put something else in that makes a little bit of sense to you. Always feel free to substitute something else you're interested in. So there's a lot of different things to do. Now, if you can sing, if you are a performer, if you can do things, of course, do your stuff and do wonderfully. But the whole idea here is, if you're not a real performer in the sense of you're always ready to perform and you don't spend hours a day practicing, you need to have a few things that you can deliver on demand, put them together in a chain, and see what comes out of it for you.